Hi, everybody. This is Taylor, and I'm here today with the founder of Drive Ride Buddy. What were your motivations for creating Drive Ride Buddy?
I always believe in combining technology, marketing, community-based with a strong passion for automobile into one. Hence, we created Drive Ride Buddy. And importantly is that we have a very clear objective is to see that every motorist that is around, whether are they seasoned motorists or just new drivers or riders just just got their license on the road and things like that. We hope to be able to help them to be the trusted advisor through our platform to provide that services that they need. Of this strong passion that we have to create that we really wanted to create a platform which we believe will be a strong value to our customers, which through our initial market research, we have also find a lot of people requesting for such a service in the market. So these are, hopefully we are able to make everyone happy as a buddy to everyone.
And then now I want to ask a little bit more about you. Do you have a background in startups?
Honestly, not much, but interestingly, I do have a touch on the something similar to a aggregator's business before in the area of educations about 18 years back. So back then when me and my then partner, we were actually trying to create a matching some sort of a business for tutors as well as students out there, right? So basically what we did was we did advertisements, flyers, and then we do online classified ads to recruit a number of tutors. And we were pretty successful at that point in time because a free advertisement on a classified online actually land us about close to 300 over tutors. But of course, students is always harder to really find because that's where the real money is. So we do a lot of door-to-door cold call and stuff like that. And we managed to get a couple of parents and the students reaching out to us, looking for tuitions and stuff like that. So we managed to close about 2 deals. And this whole startup actually lasts for about 2 months before we actually closed the business. But I do sometimes do a lot of trading in toys and collectibles. So we have been, way before Taobao or all these e-commerce has been around, we were actually sourcing for cheaper collectibles like those toys or those kind of Lego sets, and then we sell them online in the local community. So that might be considered as one.
Can you tell me a little bit more about your team? Like, how did you meet your co-founder and how did you assemble the founding team?
God has been extremely kind to me. Two of them, my current founding team, Louis and Irene, they were actually my ex-colleagues back in my previous company. So we were working, one of them, Louis, is actually in my same team. So we were doing product management together in StarHub. And the other lady, Irene, was actually my ex-customer when I was working with Ingram Micro, right? She was my business partner. So interestingly, we have a few chats along the way, and then we found that we have a lot of like-minded capabilities, as well as able to complement each other in terms of different strengths. So three of us come together to start these businesses. Of course, I was also blessed to have two other independent consultants. One from the area of UX design, the other one from area of marketing. So they aren't exactly part of Drive Ride Buddy, but they were always there as a mentor to guide me in terms of this area and how can we set things up properly. Yeah.
Can you run me through your technology and talk about what really differentiates you from anyone else in this space?
To be honest, it is our approach in making the automotive services sector more connected. So through our thought process that translate into our workflow in our platform, we have designed everything from scratch without using any template or copying any other platform, which is, probably you can find them a lot in the market right now. And probably a lot of other people are doing that as well for a shortcut. We don't believe in that. So we actually do a lot of mind mapping, whiteboarding discussion. And we actually talk to a lot of ground people, right, to really understand that what do they really face in terms of getting services for their vehicles. Likewise for merchants, what kind of problem they are facing in their business. From our search functions to e-payment to community-based inquiry, everything we do is through a thought process workflow to ensure that back to back, the people that we are going to focus on will not be neglected in terms of the things that they're looking at. We do have a few similar competitors in the market, but when we see what other people are doing, right, they are either focused on just cars and not motorcycles, or they are just focusing on just providing, matching with workshops. But in the event of things like a concierge service, e-payment, and other kind of a stickiness to create value for the merchants, right, it's not there. Hence, we see that, at least our process, our approach has been correct so far. And we hope that certainly it's going to be successful and everybody can benefit from our platform.
So can you tell us a little bit more about the business model?
Our features focus mainly on helping merchants in a more efficient and cost-effective way of doing business. Hence, we offer subscription-based features as well as marketing services that can be bundled or offered at a separate charges. So we always believe that a platform, right, can only generate its purpose and great features, right, through economy of scale. That is why we created this platform from scratch to be able to be enjoyed by all the merchants out there. So for the merchants, they do not have to go through different companies, different platforms, right, to get the same services that they need. And this actually translates to a lot of cost to them. Hence, through our subscription model, we actually help the merchants to have better cash flow because they can understand how much they're spending every month through the subscription model. And likewise, that is how we can bring the customer to them.
And can you tell us about some of the challenges you faced along the way?
For challenges that we face, mostly are related to manpower. Manpower mostly is about managing the team's expectation, such as our developers, the team members. Constantly, they're always on my mind. It's always a challenge because sometimes I may have certain directions or certain think process, but it's not that everybody will think the same as you. So it's about how can we better communicate. And I must say that for the past close to 11 months, it has been a very good learning curve for myself, trying to talk to different stakeholders, different culture. Sometimes, like we are not really a technological trained, but when we speak to the developers, we got to speak their language. So we do have a lot of challenges along the way, and that resulted in some a bit of argument along the way. But I'm glad that this past 11 months or so, we managed to find some common understanding, and that helped us to have a better working relationship. So that's mainly on the team expectation part. Of course, being a new startup with not very deep pockets, we always have cash flows, some sort of obstacle. It's like we have a lot of ideas. We know that there's a lot of things that we can achieve, but we only have that limited funds. And it's about really how to make use of the limited resources we have to achieve the fastest and the greatest efficiency that we can achieve on that. So it is something about trying to be transparent. We try to share more. I try to share more with my team member on what is happening, what is the plan, what we plan to do. But of course, having said that, it's not being a dictator and say that, oh, I just want to do this advertisement, let's do it. No, but it's really gathering everybody's feedback and see whether is it really making any logical sense or economical sense for the company and likewise for our customers. All this thing in mind, there is always another challenges that face, which is pretty much the most important thing of our entire business. What we are doing is actually to disrupt the traditional way of doing business from a digital platform perspective. So definitely there are objections to our offerings, and because the merchants that we are speaking to, quite a huge part of them are still belonging to the older era who doesn't believe in using technology to improve their business, right? So it forms a very huge part of our challenge for us to how to convince them, how to show them the value, and to show that we are actually there to help them and not just another salesman try to sell them stuff. We also know that the trend is coming, and if we missed it, we will surely regret it. And I think that is the real driving force, right? Behind us when we go through all these challenges.
And then lastly, I just wanted to ask where you think the company is headed. So are you looking to expand beyond Singapore, and what are really your future aspirations for the platform?
Case in point is that because we are serving the automotive industry, and people do go to a cross-country road travels and stuff like that. And it makes perfect sense for us to be able to help our local Singaporean drivers when they're driving to, say, Malaysia or Thailand. we can provide the same services as what they expect in Singapore, in Malaysia and Thailand as well. Likewise, for people who from Malaysia who drive to Singapore, they can experience the same service that they need. And that is how we see ourselves in terms of expanding, at least for the first initial phase. And of course, all businesses wanted to expand regionally or globally. So with our platform, we can also help our merchants who are on board with us to expand to overseas and beyond. We are actually looking, at least for the next 5 to 10 years, to expand within ASEAN. And if I may share more, when we look at how Driver Buddy is able to serve the automotive industry, and also at the same time what we offer, it is actually quite a thin line in terms of how we can actually also develop this aggregators platform to be utilized in the area of, say, for example, educations, financial sectors, or even food and grocery, right? It can be utilizing the same technology as well. That is basically what we have set in place for Driver Buddy from Singapore to ASEAN.
Thank you for your time, Thomas.
Thank you, Taylor. Thank you.